Not your average tabletop. Woohoo!
Welcome to Not Your Average Tabletop. I'm Zach.
And I'm Pepper.
And today we're giving our first impressions of Holotype, Mesozoic North America.
Yes. And you got this at Gen Con.
I did.
But you got a copy with old Rexy on the cover.
I did. Because, yeah, I think the one that they send has a Triceratops, or the one that they sell has a Triceratops on it typically. But I think they had a Kickstarter or something, and then they had the Rexy edition, and I think they promised they would only sell it at conventions, so ended up picking this one over the other one, but I think they both looked good.
Yeah. Yep.
So, yeah, this one is a dinosaur-themed game, obviously, which obviously caught my interest immediately, I would say.
Yeah. Yep.
I think I'd kind of maybe seen it a few times before, but never really looked into it that much. I guess I don't really know why. Maybe I just thought it was going to be harder to get, or didn't really hear that much about it typically.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was, I think, the last game I bought at Gen Con. Just kind of the last booth we sort of really looked at. So just happened to be one that we went by, luckily. And yeah, when they gave a little spiel about it and a little demo, I was like, that's some stuff that I really like. It's got worker placement in it, and then it's just got kind of collecting resources, like a lot of Euro-style games, and, kind of just putting out cards, kind of, in a way, getting set collection, sort of.
Kind of.
Yeah, it just also seemed pretty simple, which I thought would possibly be a good thing. And then one of the things with the worker placement, I think that makes it a little unique, but I think has been done in some other games before, is kind of the bumping of workers based on kind of their status.
So pretty much size in this case, like the bigger one can knock other bigger ones as big or smaller.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think that has been done before in games, but it's always nice to see.
I like the bumping mechanism because it just gives you that little thing of not only, well, I can use it to better it for myself, but then I'm giving them their worker back because it's got that that mechanism where you either are putting workers out or you're pulling all your workers back. So it's that interesting thing of, well, do I really want to give them that worker back? So I always like that in games. And I would say with our first play of this one, I felt pretty similarly about that. We did only play it 2 players, so that kind of changes that dynamic a little bit on the kind of bumping, because then you know for a fact who, you're only playing against the one person, so you kind of know how important that is, versus in a higher player count game, I'm guessing that feels a little bit different, and I think there's kind of a different board for 2, 3, 4, and 5, so it's all got different amounts of spots opened up. So I think I would be interested to see this one at higher player count, maybe 3 or 4. But yeah, I wonder though if that game would maybe feel or get a little bit longer. I felt like this was about the right amount of time for what it was.
I saw kind of printed on the box here, it says 1 to 2 hours, and I was thinking, oh no, this is going to be a very long, complicated game, because I didn't know much about it at all. I didn't get that demo, and I've not heard of it until you brought it home. But yeah, then as we were playing, it was very, very quick. Like this
quick, snappy turns.
Yeah, it could easily be done in an hour, especially at 2 players, I believe. Very quick, snappy turns, simple worker placement, and how that works with that unique twist. I do wonder how that would change it with higher player counts. I haven't taken a look at the other boards, but I feel like that would complicate it a little more. But also, since there are...
Give you more opportunities to be bumped, possibly. Depending on the amount of spots.
That's true.
Because I think for these ones, they all kind of had one single spot, but I think for other boards, there's multiple, so you can't force a bump if there's 2 spaces and one is still open, because you can bump your own characters, which I find cool as well. Because obviously then you have to use the bigger one, because you only get one of each type, so that's kind of cool, trying to set yourself up for potentially being able to knock yourself off. But this one was quick, snappy. Might be, I'm wondering, out of kind of the bigger dinosaur games, we've done some videos on those if you want to check out. We've done a lot of dinosaur related content with some playthroughs and stuff of like Dinogenics and Dinosaur Island, Dinosaur World. We've rated them and stuff, so you can check that out. We can probably link that below.
Yep.
But yeah, I think out of kind of at least the bigger ones, feeling ones, this one's probably the most approachable.
Yeah, I would say so. I would say it pretty easily is more approachable than Dinosaur World, probably Dinosaur Island, probably even Dinosaur Island the Roll and Write, because that one actually is pretty heavy and pretty close to the original that it's based on. Dinogenics is a little more standard kind of worker placement game, but I still think that one has a little more to grasp than this one. So yeah, I think it's a pretty approachable one. We got into it very quickly. I like that to it. We do already have so many. And then when I think of, a dinosaur theme, this is going to be collecting different DNA or running a park or something that's going to be very crunchy. But this one wasn't really that.
No, not at all. And yeah, I think, collecting the kind of research and stuff that you need to do these dinosaurs is a lot easier than most of the other ones that we've played anyway. It's just a lot more simple, and you're just trying to get research cubes and then kind of one of the 3 different color types of cubes.
Yeah, I like the way that you get the resources in this. You draw from a deck, or one of the main ways you can get it. You draw from a deck of cards, and that kind of shows the types of dice that you can roll. There's 3 types of resources and dice corresponding to them. So like we have this. We'll probably show up pictures as well, but so if I chose this one to roll, I would roll 3 purple dice, and I would get resources based on the result, which you did not do very well throughout the game. You rolled a lot of bare
singles.
minimum singles, and early on I was getting a lot of 3s. But I really like that, the possibility to get a ton. I mean, you get less the more valuable or rare the resource is.
It feels fun.
It does feel fun.
It's like, oh yes, I'm going digging. Sort of.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun actually.
Yeah, you can get a lot of resources. I got like 6 green resources, and I was packed. I'm like, oh, I didn't think I'd get close to filling up my inventory. Then I just had to go. And...
I never had that issue.
No, you did not. You bought extra inventory just in case.
I did on my first upgrade, and didn't need it the whole game.
Wow. But yeah, it's simpler in how you want to play the dinosaurs. It's just those resources, and then kind of like a universal type resource that you can have unlimited of, which is very much. I really enjoy that. That is unlimited. You can just get as much as you want. And it feels like you can get good chunks of the research tokens or whatever, that resource. But yeah, you're just paying, like, this is 3 green cubes and 2 white cubes, and you get the dinosaur. It's not like a set collection of these cards that you have to super dig for.
Right.
It's not get this specific DNA plus this one, this one, this one. It's just very easy, very straightforward to get.
Right.
So I enjoyed that. It was fresh for me.
Yeah, it did feel fresh, and I like the that all the cards. I think all of them were different types of dinosaurs, so I really like that as well. It's kind of got a little bit of kind of a wingspanny feel in that way, where they're all kind of different, but they kind of all have the kind of some standard symbology that's pretty easy to follow once you kind of know what you're looking for.
Good artwork too.
Yeah, really good artwork. So but otherwise, I think the only thing that maybe we weren't 100% sure how much we liked it, and I wonder how it would even play with more players. There's some global objectives, and for those ones, you can either kind of meet the requirement on your own, and then you kind of claim that instead of... So there's an action space that allows you to kind of... Holotype the dinosaur, so to put them out in front of you. And then that same action otherwise allows you to complete one of those objectives, global objectives. And if you do it on your own, it doesn't cost you anything further. You just kind of start getting these bonus points on the bottom, and then cover one of the space up. But you can also, if in total, like you and another player have enough, complete it. Then you can spend 5 research cubes to claim it by using what someone else has. And I don't know. I mean, you ended up getting 3 of them. I didn't get any.
I got 3 of them.
I did end up winning, so I don't know for sure if that's like the most powerful or if it just is kind of
I feel like
a way to deny someone else of getting maybe those higher ones.
felt like I was just kind of before the big gains in
Right.
the thing. So it goes 5, 11, 18, 26, 35. So I got 18 points from that. I was not able to get the other two.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know, because that kind of stalled us. We were
Right.
playing kind of chicken. We didn't want to play
We
our
didn't wanna be
cards
the one to
once
do
we
it.
were like one away from
Mhm.
together completing one of those objectives. Just like, who's going to play it first? And he did end up doing it. And
Right.
I mean, as we play it more, we may kind of discover what's more powerful in the game. And
Right.
obviously, you ended up winning this, so
Mhm.
just getting those isn't everything. But
Right.
just on first impression, which is what this is,
Mhm.
I feel like that did kind of create and kind of unfun.
Right.
I
it
don't
was-
want to play these cards that I have all these resources
Right.
for because I can't go there next
Mhm.
unless you're in some situation where they don't have the research to
Right.
be able to do it. But like I said, it felt like you could pretty often get that research.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, you could usually set yourself up to have the research ready. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see with
Yeah.
more plays, and I think for some of the goals, at least the ones we had, it probably would be hard to do it on your own. So I
Yeah.
can see why. And it's an interesting idea, but yeah, I just don't know in practice how it works. Like maybe if multiple people could claim that same one or something.
Yeah.
Um, but
Yeah.
I suppose it's the points for getting them off versus getting points for putting them on the card.
Yeah.
So that kind of changes it a little bit.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, we'll see with more plays. I would say that's the one thing that I wasn't 100% sure on
Yeah.
whether or not I liked.
Yeah.
But everything else was really good.
Yeah. I
So
agree.
I probably after one play, I'm thinking this is probably around a 7.75 for me. It's a solid worker placement game. It's a very simple one, and yeah, I think it's really approachable. It's kind of that maybe next level game right after Ticket to Ride
Yeah.
and Catan and stuff. Might even be right around that level. Maybe a few more things going on, but overall it's pretty simple. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm giving this probably an 8. I enjoyed it quite a bit. Like you said, it's just really that one little thing. But, I mean, that's just kind of how we decided to play the game. That's how that impacted us. We could have just kept playing our dinosaurs and just not worried about it.
Right.
So, I don't think that really does take away from the fun that much.
No.
I really enjoyed it. Surprisingly approachable, like you said. Yeah, I really like this one. I wonder where it's going to fall into my dinosaur game rankings. So
we might have to redo that list. I have to go back and take a look at it.
Gotten a couple more since then.
Yeah. So, yeah. But otherwise, let us know if you've ever tried this game before, what your thoughts of it are, or check out our unboxing video if you want a little closer look at all the components. We should have that going out alongside this. But otherwise, we hope to see you on that video. And as always, don't forget to
Keep on nibbling
on our content.